All right, I think we got it now. So, welcome to Ignite Goat Mentality. And I am Dr. Karen Walker, your Marine Corps veteran.
And I am Sharman Jacobs, your Navy veteran. And I just want to say Happy New Year to everyone.
Yes,
Yeah, 2024.
2024. Oh my gosh, just saying that. It's like, wow, we're in the new year. So happy new year. And we are talking about today pushing beyond limits and comfort zones. I was getting like really comfy in 2023. So now it's like we are 2024. So let's just jump right into it, because we want to know, Charmin, what is the cost or the risk really of taking action? When we take action and we really try to move ourselves beyond our comfort zones, what is the risk of that?
Well, I like to say, I like to change that to what are the benefits of life.
What are the what?
What are the benefits? Right?
Benefits. Okay.
I mean, right?
Yeah,
Because risk is like, oh, it's like, I don't want to take any, right? I don't want to,
sure.
I want to stay where I'm at. But to answer the question, what is the cost or risk of taking action is really pushing the limits. It's like if you're lifting weights and you want to build muscle, would you still do the 5 pound weights or would you go up to the 20 pound weights?
Mhm.
Because you want to build, right? So you got to build that muscle. So when you are taking risk and when you are like moving yourself out of your comfort zone, then it's cost is beneficial because you now know what you're capable of when you move forward with doing something that doesn't feel comfortable.
Yeah, I like that. Like the benefit is kind of that risk, right? I mean, I like the example you use of building muscle because when you do work out, you're actually tearing down muscle, right? I mean, so it does have to repair itself. So that's actually a great analogy that you use. I think for me, the risk or the kind of cost of taking action in this new year, I think is just kind of that fear, right? That anxiety that we kind of have for stepping out. They call it kind of stepping off the ledge, right? I've heard that kind of analogy used a lot. And I think if you can get over that initial kind of just sitting in that moment of fear and kind of angst, that's I think that cost, that risk that you're taking to make that leap. Then I think once you make it, it's like that floating feeling, like okay, I'm out here, and this is actually very freeing. So I think that is the good feeling. So the cost is the anxiety you feel when you take that first step, but then the freeing, right? So that's the next question then. What is the cost or the risk of us not taking action when we're stepping out like beyond our comfort zone? What are the risks there?
So I'll use another analogy and quote Les Brown. And Les Brown says that the the richest place in the world is the graveyard. So, and the reason why he said that is because those are where a lot of people's dreams die with them. So
Wow.
if you're not taking a risk or you're not taking the cost as it pertains to your dreams, your goals, your objectives in life, then you don't even then they're gonna die with you. And we don't know when our number is gonna be called. So you gotta step out on faith and take the risk and costs that go with it and try to help look at it as a positive so that those positive hormones in your brain is released and
Yeah,
you don't get stuck in analysis paralysis.
right. mean, I love us doing these calls because I mean, it's not just like us, like, I mean, we learn every time, and I think, like, these quotes you bring, I mean, guys, the graveyard is rich. I mean, I was just thinking that. I mean, how many people just take so much with them, right? Because you can't use it. And, and we end the show with that every time, right? Use it or lose it. And, but the cost really of not taking action, not stepping out past your comfort zone. Reminds me of when I was in high school. There was this phrase with this T-shirt, and it used to say for all different sports, but it would say somewhere someone is practicing, and when you meet her, she will beat you. And that used to like stick in my head, like, it was like a driving force of, like, okay, because I was just obsessive about basketball, still kind of am, but it was just like, okay, if I'm, like, feeling lazy or if I'm feeling like, "Gosh, I'm just too tired," I would, like, think about that. I think they made posters out of it too, but it's like the risk or the cost of, like, not going after your dream or not pursuing it is that somewhere someone else is doing it, right? And when you meet them, it's like they have it. They have your dream or they have, where you wanna be. So, just resurrecting that T-shirt and that poster in my mind of somewhere someone is practicing when I meet her, she's gonna beat me, so I gotta get on my game. Uh
I like
So
that.
I remember that T-shirt. It was great. Good motivation. So the third question here is, what is one thing you can do that may be uncomfortable, but it will help you grow? So when we're talking about getting out of our comfort zones a little bit, what's one thing you can think of that will help you in this 2024?
Um,
I mean, because when we're talking about igniting goat mentality, that's that igniting, right? I mean, getting uncomfortable a little bit.
I think the one thing that really may be challenging is asking for feedback,
Mhm.
right? So
Right.
getting out of that comfort zone of asking for feedback. Um,
Sure.
Another one that is being authentic and sharing your authentic message. So often we grow up in a culture where what goes on in this house stays in this house. So you tend to not share your your journey and all of
Yeah.
your journey. And so as I'm in this space of online, marketing and things of that nature, I'm looking back at like there's a lot of fluff masters, and I coined that from a guy by the name of Damian Watts. But and fluff masters are those people that are on the internet that make their life look like a fluff.
Wow.
But life is and anything in life is not always chocolates, right?
Right.
Always roses. And so, but what can you glean off of those uncomfortable moments in your life? Like, what are some of the outcomes? What are some of the lessons learned that you can take with that? So
Okay.
that's what I have to share with regards to that one.
Sure. Yeah. So we did get a comment that it's a little hard to hear you, Charmin. So if you'd speak up a little bit. Um. So I think that being uncomfortable is that whole piece about comfort zones, right? And I think for me, and I'm taking this from you this new year, is I would like to wake up earlier. Being in the military, we had to get up early, and I think after retirement, I really enjoyed my time and my schedule, and being able to, be flexible in that. But I would like to be more deliberate about, getting up earlier, but making good use of that time when I get up earlier. So to whether I'm going to be meditating on that time or doing Bible study or, doing like a bike ride, on my stationary bike, or, or a walk or something like that. If weather permits, but something like that. They say that just sparking those endorphins in the morning is really important. So there's my uncomfortable comfort zone that I'm gonna work on for the new year. So we'll see.
Not only that, is that your brain is at its optimum when you get up in the morning, especially if you've gotten enough rest, that proper rest at night to rejuvenate. So getting up in the morning, it's your optimal time. And so,
Right.
um,
Well, that's what they say. They say like getting the natural sunlight, all this, it's good for the body. So
definitely,
the
definitely.
fourth question here is, what is one thing you can do this week? So we're being very specific. That's part of, SMART goals. And Charmin and I have talked about this before. And, in the military, you've worked on SMART goals being measurable. So what is one thing you can do this week to develop a new skill?
To develop a new skill.
Right. So, I mean, like, we do a lot of different things. We interact with a lot of different people. But sometimes, applying these things is what takes you above and beyond the limits that we're talking about and the comfort zones. So, what is one thing you can do this week to develop a new skill? So for me, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a jump start. So for me, I've been actually utilizing the masterclass program. I don't know if you've seen those online. And so I've been looking at a lot of filmmaking classes, but I would like to practice what I've been learning, and just jump out there and not be afraid to fail. So, I mean, it's not easy to do a lot of these techniques that I'm learning, especially with like different, uh, smartphone techniques, but just not being afraid to just jump out there and practice it. So this week I want to at least practice filming with smartphone and see what I can do. So
Well,
that's my one thing I want to do, my
well,
new skill.
like, to be very transparent and very honest, like I have things on my list of to-dos, so there's no space in that. I don't know that I'm. I guess my new skill, if you will, is to master social media marketing on LinkedIn. Like LinkedIn is a platform. Like I really have been on social media, but really have not dived into the analytics side of it and creating content, and then looking at the analytics side of it. Um,
Nice.
I just been posting and just like, oh, okay. But now it's more of being more strategic about, well, what is the content? Did that caption really resonate? What was the engagement on that? And then,
Right.
since you have me learning a new skill, is also looking at um, Facebook ads, like really learning more about Facebook ads at a
Sure.
deeper, more intentional, strategic effort instead of, oh, I'll just boost it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Definitely. So
good.
stepping out on LinkedIn a little bit more and then also learning more about the Facebook ads. That's definitely important. So for all of our people watching, and we try to keep these very consistent, 15 minutes every 2 weeks, so you know where to find us. And what we want to make sure is that we're giving you information that's helpful, so you continue to ignite your GOAT mentality. So if you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Lose it.
That's right. And you know where to find us on our YouTube channel. You can find us at Dr. Karen Walker Official. Also, all the social media, Success After Discharge. You can find us as well. And lots of great tips for our military women veterans, but also any questions you have our Ignite coach, Charmin Jacobs. You can find her and her tips. Please tune in every 2 weeks